like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I'm having a somewhat good day. I hope you're having a good day too. This is the 19th part of our ongoing program to supercharge one's relationship with God. Today is a big day in this 49-day period that we're in, the Sphere of Omer, where I think miracles and wacky stuff can happen because around about, was it 79 years ago, a wacky thing did indeed happen. The state of Israel was created, which for us religious Jews, it's a realization to some degree, to a large degree, of a 2,000-year-old prophecy that we would return to this land and we would have sovereignty over it once again. And when we did that, then the land would bloom, and that's basically what we've seen. Like, it's mind-blowing, right? You just go and look out at anywhere in Israel, and in Jerusalem especially, when you got these hills you can look over, you can see the armistice line by where there's foliage and where there isn't. It's really just an amazing thing to say. Another amazing thing about Israel, right? And it blows my mind every time. If you've ever seen Star Trek 3, I love a bit of Star Trek 3, mate. At the beginning, they go to the Genesis planet to find Captain Spock's torpedo. He was killed in Star Trek 2. Boom! They're very, very emotionally. He shot his torpedo into space, and it landed on the Genesis planet. But anyway, on that planet, there's every different terrain known to humanity was within walking distance. That is Israel, right? We have snow mountains to ski. We have deserts. Obviously, we have desert. We have lush European countrysides. We have tropical rainforest. Yeah, pretty much everything in this tiny little space of land. So anyway, on the 90th day of this period, I am very, very happy. I'm also happy that we've reached the conclusion of our examination of the second of these 6 constant commandments that we're looking at. First was faith. The second one was not having any God before God, which has become so popular now, it doesn't make sense. The words we use to say that question doesn't make any sense. Obviously, you can't have God before God, but this was really written for much more of a idolatrous age, right? I would say. So what's that got to do with us? And why is that a constant mitzvah? That's what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to... love a bit of coffee. So we're going to be looking at the conclusion. It's from this book, The 6 Constant Mitzvahs, which a mitzvah is a commandment. Like, share, subscribe, comment, sign up to my Substack, sign up to my paid Substack. I promised people to send stuff on my paid Substack yesterday, and I still didn't. My plan right now is if I can get enough work done today, and I think I can, I can take a couple of days off, and that might be great. That might be great that I might actually get to send stuff out to the people subscribing. Thank you very much. If you're on Rumble, hit the Rumble button. That's all. Fan-dabby, double-dozy. Fine, so let's look at this review. Not to believe in other gods. It's the second of the 10 Commandments. The prohibition of do not believe in other gods before God, is a prohibition against idolatry. The book, the Sefer Hachinach, which is the book of teaching, I think, explains the primary violation of this prohibition is to attribute power to any source other than God, right? And we do it all the time, right? I'll give you a great example, right? A couple of weeks ago, I got a community strike on my channel. I think unfairly. Everybody in prison thinks they've been convicted unfairly, so there's that. But that meant I couldn't post anything on my YouTube channel for a week, or stream or anything. And it was, and I started using my backup channel, but it was very hard. But I was able to accept that this was something that came from God after my initial but give me a couple of minutes later, right? So then, a couple of years ago, God wanted to send me a message, I believe. Basically, I've wanted to take a bit of a breather this week, and I've been not as connected to God as I normally have been, right? So I want to take a bit of a breather because I think, I've been pushing pretty darn hard. So I thought it was good to take a breather. But I think I went too much in the other direction. So God sent me a message, and it was a really incredible message. And it was a miracle, right? It was an absolute miracle. I got the day I fine, I'm gonna stop early. I'm going to relax. I'm going to watch TV. I'm not going to work, right? As I was sitting there, I get alert on my phone. A video had been taken down for a community breaking the same community violation of hate speech, which I didn't, obviously, but, and I freaked out. I was like, because, that's a big deal. That means your channel's about to be taken away, or you're off for 2 weeks. But, to get another strike straight away when I came back online, really, really scary. So it turned out it wasn't that at all, right? It wasn't that at all. It was a site I never heard of, and I Googled it, and nobody knows about it. It was a community action, the community guidelines video removal, but not a community guideline strike. They normally come together, right? It was really, really, really weird. But the point is, I had a real genuine terror. I was like, oh my God! I was like, real properly scared, right? And why was I properly scared? Because I didn't believe that everything comes from God, right? For a moment, I was like, I believed in the unreality of this world. So that is a prime example of idolatry today, which you have to be look out for. Most people have idols about things they think are real, like Twitter. Really? Do you remember when we say Twitter's not real, and that's before it broke out of its virtual reality and came into the real world? Did you remember that? Do you remember that 2020 election? Yeah, that's basically what happened. People think Twitter's real. People think money is real. People think power is real. No, none of these things are real. The only power is God. That is the only power. Well, we determined that the underlying principle of idolatry is to worship and manipulate systems in nature to provide a practical but meaningless life, rather than focus on the purpose of the world. So initially, one could worship a strange idol and get what you want. God had decreed that you don't get crops this year, and you said, I don't want to die. And it's the thing, whatever the hardship you don't want to accept in yourself, that's what God actually wants you to have. And by circumventing that, you're circumventing. So one could easily say that thievery, stealing is idolatry. Why? Amongst other things, why? Because God has decreed that you have what you need to be who you are, to be the person that you're supposed to be. And you're saying, but I want something more. I want something different, right? You're saying there's a lot of power other than God. That's how much you've got to boil this down, right? If you're worried that you're going to make oftentimes, more than once, I've been offered to do adult X-rated websites. I'm a web designer. I turn it down, right? I turn it down because I don't think that's what God wants me to do, and it caused me financial loss, right? And many times I spoke out about stuff in our synagogue which I thought was not good, and that caused me real loss, right? Why? Because I think that's what God wanted, and I think the only thing that is real is God, right? I don't think there's any other power than God. So that's idolatry for you. In addition, we fine-tuned our understanding of our purpose in the world, explaining that we were created to achieve perfection, internal harmony, in all areas of character. Success in attaining perfection is the only true end. All other goals, financial success, health, whatever. If it's an end, if you're making that the end of it itself, that is idolatry, right? No. If you want to say, I got to go see this movie, right? I got to see it. I'm not going to be happy until I see this movie because I got to see this movie. That's idolatry. If you said, I got to go see this movie so I can be, so I can't be anxious about waiting to find out, not being spoiled and waiting to see what's going to happen, so I can concentrate and I can serve God better. I can pray clearer without worrying about nonsense. That's the difference, right? It's framing everything in the context. I'm doing this to as part of my connection to God. And pretty much everything other than those things that are explicitly prohibited are okay. You can put them in that group. I mean, look, being Jewish, I do kind of miss bacon, right? I wish I could serve God by eating bacon. And may I say, you should really be thankful. As part of Israel Independence Day, which is today, as I said, we're having a big barbecue at in the afternoon, about 4 in the afternoon. We got the steaks ready, they're marinating, and again, Why are we doing this? We're doing this to celebrate the miracle that God has done for us, right? You want your body to experience active pleasure, right? And then attribute that pleasure, Bob eating that steak, eating the good meal, attribute that pleasure to God and thank God for it, right? That's making God the center. Where are we? Well, allowing us to engage in pragmatic, practical aspects of living while pursuing the true purpose of living in the world at the same time. Understanding this enables us to interpret not having other gods as idolatry as a constant commandment that pertains to our lives on several levels. One, it prohibits us from abandoning the pursuit of meaning in the meaning and purpose in favor of meaningless existence. So yeah, that's why I think God's at me, right? Because I really just needed to take my foot off the accelerator, right? And I got too into the meaninglessness, right, of it. So whoa, yeah, did God wake me up, give me a little slap? But thankfully everything's fine, right? Like that, nothing really happened. Two, it explains the following the Elzar, the evil inclination is that following the evil, it explains following the evil inclination is considered idolatry. The evil inclination, that voice in your head that tells you things you would never advise anybody in a million years, tries to convince us that that following God's laws too closely we won't be successful, thus causing us to believe in some other force holding the keys to success. The great example of this, the proto example of this is cheating on your taxes. A religious person cheating on your taxes. I can't make it if I don't cheat. Well, this is what God gave you, right? This is what God wants. Honestly, idolatry, not doing idolatry, it's a submission to God's will, right? That's essentially what it is. When the evil inclination allows us to follow God's laws, he tries to make them view material success as an end instead of a means, which can cause us to abandon our true purpose in the world. If I ever make enough money that happens, I'll let you know. Okay? Yeah, I'm eager to find out. No, I'm not. Belief for one's power to carry out tasks rather than attributing it to the power of God may also be a transgression of idolatry. One who denies his own freedom of choice insinuates there is no purpose, no true purpose of the world, for we cannot obtain perfection if we do not have the power to choose correctly. Where'd that one come in? They slipped that one in out of left field. What's going on? Let me read that. One who denies his own freedom of choice insinuates that there is no true purpose to the world, for we cannot attain perfection, and if we do not have the power to choose correctly. I've no clue what's going on there. Okay, practical applications of idolatry, of not having other gods. One, of ends and means. Maintain a constant awareness of what your true goal is, and that really is keep an eye on the prize, right? And you can do pretty much anything just for the right, and you got to be honest. You can't say, "Oh no, I'm eating this cream cake to get close to God because it makes me feel good." But I kind of, but if you're gonna forget about God in the sheer pleasure of the moment, like I don't know if you have this where you're watching. They got these like puddings they put out a few years ago called YOLO, called You Only Live Once, YOLO. I don't know if you have it where you are. Oh my god, we cannot have these in the house. I eat these things and I'm like, I can't think of anything else. They are the most incredibly tasting thing I've ever had in my entire life. My mind is just completely blank whenever. That might be a little bit focusing too much on your visceral pleasures, right? That's going to be hard to connect to God. So maintain constant, keep an eye on the prize. To have a part in realizing the purpose of the world by perfecting ourselves. Be sure to view all areas of material success as a means to an end. Pursue meaning, not banal existence. So this is good advice. Hard to do, right? Identify each circumstance in life as an opportunity for spiritual perfection, and that's essentially true. Every choice is a choice of moving closer or further away from God. Undertake each endeavor not for its own sake, but as a part of your total connection to God. Right. So, like, great example. And I'll give you a couple great examples. My youngest son went to a school close to us. It was a religious school close to us, and which was fantastic for him. Absolutely fantastic for him. The principal was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He wasn't an overly academic kid, and he's flourished. Right, he's absolutely flourished. He's doing great. I'm so proud of him. Right, but it's all because this principal is great. So this principal takes an individual attention to each one of the kids in his care, because it's in his care. But what said a lot more to me than this was they used to have this thing on Thursday night. Thursday evening, he would make these baguette sandwiches with French fries and schnitzel, like chicken, and put them together into a pita bread and everything. But he would make it himself, right? He would fry the fish, fry the chips, fry the French fries and the chicken. He would make it and build it himself. So because every part of it was important to him. And I think the thing that really blew me away once is, again, I view this guy as a great man, right? An absolutely great man. We were going past the shore and I saw him just quietly taking out the garbage bags and throwing them in, throwing them in the garbage, right? It's everything. Taking out the garbage is an act of serving God, because he saw everything as holistically the same. There's no menial little service if you're doing that. The president of my local synagogue, which is reasonably what's the word, honorable position, right? And it's normally like a more honorable person, like an older person who's been around more, does that. So as I said, the third I mentioned today is Israel Independence Day. Yesterday, as I was walking over from shore, I saw her up a ladder putting flags out, like turning flags around the synagogue and outside, and he's got a great eye to make things look beautiful. By the way, absolutely fantastic. But again, what you could say, that's menial work, that's menial service, right? That's beneath it, and honestly, it is beneath this guy. It is beneath this guy, but it's not. Why? Because this is his service to God, right? So nothing is menial, right? And it makes everything a pleasure if you can look at it that way. Not everything, but makes a lot of things a pleasure. It makes a lot of hardships much easier to deal with. So, seek solutions to problems in daily living that will bring spiritual growth, not material success. 100%. Great advice. Remember the limits and the lack thereof. Train yourself to realize that God retains all power, and human power is limited to the proper use of choosing to be close to God. In fact, the prayer I told you yesterday, right? If you saw the statement yesterday, I told you a prayer that you can use, and it works a lot of the time. So last night we're going to our local town centre, city centre, town centre. It's a small town where they have music and a fair and everything. Again, did I mention it's Yom Ha'atzmaut, right? It's the Israel Independence Day. So if you go there late, parking, you have to park like 2-3 miles away, or most people just walk, because what's the point? Because it's long. So we went late, because that's the way we roll, baby. We got there late, but so I use that prayer, right? The prayer is, I said, I choose to create the reality of what I want. So I say, I choose to create the reality and find the perfect parking spot. Even though it's impossible, absolutely impossible. I choose to create that reality, right? And I imagine in my head, so I have no control of this reality coming out from my mind and into the physical world. That is completely in the hands of God, right? I have complete control of what I choose to imagine to be real. I have no control coming through, right? Complete in the hands of God. And then the third thing you say is everything God does is good, right? And a perfect parking spot. Like, incredibly. Shouldn't have done, but we did. Because, the only power is God. That is this commandment. So, faith requires us to maintain a constant awareness of the facts that God created the world for a purpose and that we can take part in the purpose. Not having other gods before God adds the awareness that the true purpose of the world should be our only pursuit. Oh, that's interesting. Finally, they've built it out. And we should not abandon it in terms of meaninglessness meaningless existence. If I can ever bloody say it, meaningless existence, right? If you, that's always good advice. Keep your eyes on the prize. That's basically what this commandment is. Keep your eyes on the prize. So tomorrow, what are we doing? Working on tomorrow. Tomorrow we start a whole new commandment. It is God is one, the oneness of God. We're going to talk about this for about a week or so, and I hope we're going to get to a whole new understanding of it by the time we finish that. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.